Welcome to the Daily Jing for Wednesday, May 31st. Here's the quote of the day. Never be so focused on what you're looking for that you overlook the thing you actually find. Ann Patchett. She's a really good novelist. You should check her out. So let's look at the schedule. We're in the third week, Wednesday, middle of the third week here. The familiar essay first draft is due by tomorrow, Thursday at 6 a.m. The O'Brien discussion is due today. The view and do on O'Brien is due. Here's the peer review sheet. We're going to start the Waiwara discussion and the view and do 3.5. Take a look at this on The Shape of Stories by Kurt Vonnegut. Also, here's a sample paper. Let's look at this for a second. Okay, so this person is playing field hockey. And she opens with a little bit of a scene here. That's good. And then you don't need in-text citations, so don't do that. And in fact, when you're using your research, use the research not to support your claims or whatever. Just like you're doing a research paper. Don't do that. Use your research to jump off from their ideas onto your ideas. The research should be a spur to you getting more information out about yourself. Okay? Now, these are problem-centered papers. So you need a problem. You need something that the game or sport kind of throws up for you. So here's hers. I've identified it more or less. The fear of public embarrassment or failure. So she's learning to do field hockey and she really wants to succeed, but she's afraid that she will fail. Okay, so that's the problem. She sets it up right here. So I say here, before she talks about the embarrassment, I say, keep this as a thread throughout the paper because we want to know how you wrestle with your fear of failure and what it means now for you. So if field hockey changes your life, what that should mean is it changes your life in relation to the problem. Okay? So here I talk about the problem. Okay, we see the problem. This ties into your desire above not to be cut from the team. Okay, so now she talks about the practice or the tryouts, and I say you could stop here and give us a scene that shows one of these sessions and how it ties into the problem of the fear of embarrassment. And don't forget to try to structure the essay so that it doesn't seem so linear, and so the structure comments on the subject matter. So I'm really interested in you structuring this essay. Here we see a progression in your play. Key it to the fears as you enumerate them above. So we want you to continually go back to the fear and how it's playing out in reference to the game or sport. Um, here, um, we've lost the reference. Okay. Again, talk about how this was helping you to overcome the fear. So this writer is not really following the problem throughout the game to try to see how the game um, helps her solve the problem. Here, she talks about the coach and wanting to change from being a defensive player to a midfield player. You could give us a scene here. Okay, here we're losing the link to the problem you started with, the fear of failure, and we see this turning into a report on field hockey. Get back to the problem. So this is one of the main issues with writing these papers, is that what you want to do, or what you end up doing, is writing a report and not a familiar essay where you're talking about the problem in relation to the game and you're reflecting on how the problem kind of evolves throughout the play of the game. You need the play of the game in order for us to see how the problem develops. So, again, how does this tie into the problem? Again, this reads very sequentially and does not follow the topic, the problem. Okay, so here's my end comment. It is important to establish some sort of problem in the beginning of these essays and follow the progression of incidents and decisions concerning the problem while reflecting on the consequences. You establish a problem, the fear of public embarrassment and failure, but never get to showing us all the ways you overcame the problem. We are told how you develop and succeed as a field hockey player, but we don't see it in terms of you overcoming your problem. The sport play is always a lens that the writer uses to recognize and try to solve the problem. And the problem never has to do with the sport or play itself, but with something that keeps a person from playing. In a revision, set some scenes where you show successive attempts at overcoming the problem instead of merely telling us that you did. This might be the key to structuring the essay. Write from scene to scene where you show the reader your fears and how you succeed in rising above them, and perhaps how you are still struggling with this fear. Okay? So the question of the day is, when is the first draft of the familiar essay due? It's due tomorrow, Thursday by 6 a.m. Thanks. Bye.